Welcome to the Penumbral Pact, Missing the Point. The first session I am GMing in years. Wait, not in years, but in at least 1 year.
Yay. It's been a while.
At first, we should probably go with a character introduction again, right?
Yeah.
Well.
Left to right, I guess.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I am Joshua Benton of the esteemed Benton family. They are one of the most prominent of the Hunter families. And he is a very big believer in the Penumbral Pact, which sometimes causes some issues with working with more monstrous types. But he is very pragmatic. And in his most recent adventure in Texas, he actually had a soft spot for the monstrous member Izzy on there. So maybe he's thawing a little bit on that front. And that's Joshua.
I'm Patricia Robertson, or Patty. Patty works for a mysterious organization only known as the Agency, which is probably some kind of government operation, but very mysterious and very cryptic. And she's recently had a bunch of it's a bunch of problems with some orders, and now she's the agency's keeping her what's it called, on the short leash, maybe, I
In
guess.
the doghouse.
In the doghouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Shadow?
My character's name is Shadow the Monstrous. Oh, yeah, Shadow the Monstrous. He's a werewolf from an ancient pack that used runes a lot. And yeah, I don't know, there's not much to say about him. Oh, here's something. He has a Ford Mustang, a drinking problem, and a great sword.
Yeah, those are three things.
Great combination, yeah. Alright. So, what do you think how your characters might have gotten called in for this one? It is something that that would have come very easily through official channels. So for Joshua and Patty, I pretty much know immediately that your agency or your family could be a very good and easy venue. But for Shadow, I'm not quite sure yet how he could have learned of this.
Ezra.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
If it's
Ezra.
for finding out information on the start of the world, it's because of Ezra.
When in doubt, it's Ezra. Okay, so what happened was that you guys have been either called in or heard of a situation at a place called Green Hills Valley, which is a place where people created a kind of safe space for unicorns, kind of like a national park, but of course much more isolated from society, so it wouldn't break the pact. Unicorns are very useful for hunters because many of their, or some of their body parts have special powers or are good conductors or catalysts for magic, which is stuff that hunters can at times use in their line of work. Some, especially like parts of the horn, can also be used very well in certain wards. So, they are very useful and they are very docile and peaceful. But the problem that has arisen now is that an invasive species has apparently gotten into Green Hills Valley, and there's now the worry that this species might endanger the resident unicorns.
What sort
So
of
that
species are we?
is actually another unicorn,
Okay.
but a very different subspecies that is much more aggressive.
Okay. And
Wow.
where do they come from? Or is that something we have to find out?
From Germany, actually.
Hmm.
Oh, I meant how are they introduced? This
Oh,
invasive species. Was it a mix-up where they thought it was the same thing and they got dropped off there? Or?
no, there was another person from the supernatural world that lived near the national park, basically. Um, and they really, really liked exotic mythological animals, which is one of the reasons why they chose a residence that isolated from most of civilization. They loved to collect them at times, and apparently their latest part of the collection said unicorn has managed to get out, do away with them, and get out into the national park.
Shit.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it is definitely clear that it is an aggressive subspecies, and it is a male, which is worrying because, aside from endangering especially other males, it's also very possible that it might mingle with the females and create something difficult to control.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
you also get a map of Green Hills Valley at Dodge.
Oh wow, this looks like Pokemon.
It's cute.
Yeah,
Gotta catch them all.
I just straight up used RPG Maker to make these
Uh,
because it's very useful. It's got all these nice
Yeah,
assets.
it's true. It's true.
So,
so I'm guessing
um,
it's a mountain range, and then forest, and a lake. Oh, river.
There's a bunch of things here.
give me just a moment. Yes. Here is the residence of that person that collected the things, and this is also the area where you arrive because this person actually had their own helicopter pad, and it's easier to get there via helicopter. Down here is the residence of the main caretaker of the park, and across the river, the big forest is where most of the unicorns are. Your first task is to, rendezvous with the caretaker of the valley and ask him about basically what he knows about everything.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do other things on the way, though, let me know. Especially if you want to prepare yourself with anything.
Well, I'd like to do some research on unicorns and particularly to see if we can figure out anything about, this subspecies that we're dealing with.
Would that be one of your moves? Or
No, just a sharp roll. Just investigate a mystery.
okay,
I'm just gonna be looking through my rune book, see if there's anything that can help us.
I should probably actually open the keeper thing.
Probably.
I'm sorry,
No, it's okay. It's all right. All good.
says you.
So
And
I guess
Stephanie Christmas.
for the eight, I've got one hold. I'll go ahead and use it now. I'd like to know if we know of any weakness for this subspecies. Do we have a name for it?
It doesn't really have a specific name.
We can give it a nickname though.
Yeah, you can totally give it a nickname. Um, it's known that it's definitely smaller in build than the normal unicorns and looks less horse-like.
Okay, Punicorn it is.
Cute. So, any weakness?
It has the same weakness as usual unicorns, which means it can be lured close by virgins and pacified by them.
Okay.
Huh. All right.
So, hey, Patty!
So, I guess we all arrived together via helicopter, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
It is fairly easy to get through the mountain range and to the residence of the caretaker, though. Like, it is maybe half a day's work of a hike.
Actually,
Tops.
I would like to first get have a look at like the place we're at right now.
The mansion?
Yeah, maybe there's a library or something.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Does
he is a collector of mythical creatures.
mm, how about the others? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so Patty just gets off the helicopter and wordlessly stalks off towards the house, looking even more disheveled than usual.
Poor thing.
You just see me drinking a bottle of whiskey that I stole from Ezra's bar. Don't know where I pulled it out from, but I have it.
So here we are. As you arrive, you like the easiest way, of course, exactly goes there.
Baboom.
Let me just.
What's this one?
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I just need to do this. And then this. And goddamn it.
That is a bunch of blood right there.
Yep.
And there's a hole in the wall. It looks
Ooh.
like this mansion has been abandoned for a little bit.
Yeah. Not super long. Like, it doesn't actually look super
No, but
abandoned, but yeah.
it's been within the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
At least a good week.
So I'm going to draw my weapon, but I would like to take a look at the blood pools and actually do some magic here to see if I can sense anything special.
Oh, okay.
So let's see here.
So I use magic roll.
Yeah.
I use magic to investigate a mystery.
Ah.
Okay.
That would be another hold of 1, right?
hmm
Okay, what's the question? Like,
I
first
think I'm
off,
gonna hold on to it while I'm gonna let's say that this is more of kind of like a longer term thing, and so as more information comes in from Patricia and Shadow, then maybe that'll help steer the hold I should use.
all right. So what I can tell you right now is that most of the blood is long since dried out. It seems as if there hasn't been much rain in the area lately, so it's still like the pools are barely have barely changed shape apparently, but it is fairly old already. It is definitely what's the word for it when it gets rusty? Stale. And it looks like or no, that's not something you would just see, I guess.
Well, Noted. I'm gonna get my submachine gun out of my backpack just to be sure. I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna step through that big hole. Take a look inside.
Do the others follow?
Only I follow.
Just roleplay wise, I'm still checking out. This is my thing. I'm just kind of playing it out as a little longer term, just to explain the hold. So I'll still be outside.
All right.
All right.
I'm so glad because this is the gosh darn optional thing I wasted so much time on. Please don't remain as investigative.
This is the
Okay,
point
just
where you take the thing you have made and just say no. This is no longer optional.
do keep in mind I may
Yes, now
still
you have to.
Wow, what
ongoing
the fuck is all
investigation.
this?
Um, those are for like you're not completely sure if they're just very nice pieces of art in that shape, or if they actually are taxidermied monsters, like all inhuman monsters, but still it's kind of weird for sure.
I'm guessing these are doors to the side of us.
What did you say?
I'm guessing these are rooms to the side of us.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, probably.
those openings are doors you can go through. All doors are kind of loosely boarded up. There apparently was an attempt to like dissuade trespassers. Probably not in the way of like, oh no, what if like some teenagers rummage around here, because it's a fairly isolated area. But it was a pretty rich person. It's very possible that if someone has their ways that they might want to be to get here and see what they can loot. So
Hmm.
the least the boards do is tell anyone investigating this if anyone was here in the meantime.
Seems
Hmm.
like a big place not to have multiple staff to rely on.
Well, this was just
Hmm.
a person's mention, but I do reckon there's still a whole bunch of stuff in here, and some of it
Yeah.
looks valuable.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shadow, where's your pedestal?
What are you talking about? You're too
Nothing.
strong to be taken down, my very.
Never mind. Um.
I'm gonna go to the store and smash it down with my great sword.
Yeah, I just think I'm just gonna leave the violence to you.
Roll tough or weird?
Yeah, that would probably be tough, but I'm almost.
Unless you have super strength. If you have super strength, you are
Oh yeah,
allowed
that's
to
right.
roll weird for the weight. But this probably isn't a move at all, is it?
Yeah, I was about to say that it seems like something you should just be able to do.
Well,
Like,
I was
you
just gonna
just.
smash it.
Yeah, you just wreck that shit.
Well then, let's have a look inside.
I like how
Uh,
you're right behind me though. Like,
this thing definitely looks like taxidermy, and it looks like something like a drake or a small dragon.
oh,
So,
cool. I
this
meant
has. Hmm?
I meant the door.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Well,
already knew that
whatever.
everything else was taxidermy.
Oh, but tell us about the Drake anyway.
Yeah, tell us.
Uh, it like that is basically all I wanted to say. That it
Okay.
seems like a small dragon or drake. But yeah,
Is there
um,
anything? Never mind. I was gonna say if there's anything inside, I
Hmm.
want.
here is a problem. I have not managed to make the second floor yet.
Oh, no
It's
worries.
okay.
We'll just say that
It's
it's demolished the staircase.
Yeah, when I
Second
heard that
floor is
noise,
gone.
I'm definitely gonna come in and just be like, "Whoa, what was that?" And then I just see the open passageway. But I guess at this point, I'd like to use my hold and just, if I could tell, through magic, the blood, whose blood was that? Was it just the person, humans, or was there also like unicorn blood in that?
There was also unicorn blood in that.
All right.
So they managed to injure it then.
Yeah,
So this
possibly.
these stairs to go up.
Hmm.
It's just stairs to go up. I thought by the carpet I could go this way.
Oh no, there is no like
Yeah.
wherever you see an opening is where you can go.
So yeah, look at that shit, Joshua. Look at that shit.
Joshua, how do you feel about the vandalism?
I mean, it's not the Benton house. It's fine.
Okay, I destroyed this door.
I
So
bet I was mostly referring to all these freaking stuffed monsters on the pedestals.
Oh, I mean that's where they should be.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
hunting
Hmm.
trophies.
Hmm. Yeah, okay. All right. Sorry, I asked.
I forgot you suck.
you see me flipping on the bird.
All right. Let's not start fighting just yet. Maybe later. Let's just get through this first. Shadow,
Yeah,
if you would,
I just demolished that door too.
let's just walk through.
Pretty much.
All right.
Have the wood break on your abs like waves on rock.
You discover a slightly demolished dining room.
Can I?
It's definitely all very fancy pants. Like the just like the cutlery and dishes you find in the cupboards, I think, look like you like some of them cost more than at least Patty's salary for a year. And it also seems like it was fairly frequently used. Like this person apparently had guests every now and then.
I'm gonna quickly just go up over here and see if I can hear or smell anything through that doorway. Or is that a window?
No, that's a doorway.
So while Shadow's doing that, I want to look around, and I don't know if this is really a role or not, but and maybe this is something that I could have asked while we got here, but it sounds like this is kind of a unicorn rant. So, I mean, was unicorn on the menu?
No.
Okay.
You see my eyes light up as I run into the kitchen and grab some food.
Yeah, actually, like, you mostly find vegetarian food there, like, mostly vegetables of all kinds. In the fridge are very few, very high-class meat cuts, like actual Wagyu beef and stuff like that.
That's what I ran towards.
Yum, 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 yum. Yeah, I feel like you can take some of that frozen meat.
Oh no, I grab it all.
What did you say?
I pull out a collapsible those chili bags, open it up and start putting the meat in.
Oh, jeez.
All right,
And then
all right.
close it, and then like you just see it disappear somewhere you don't even know where.
All right.
He can't eat the rich anymore, so...
No, let's not get too looty here just yet. I don't think that is okay with agency policy. You know, just keep it at a sensible level, right?
It's gonna go to waste. It's been here for 2 weeks and it's still frozen. I might as well use it when no one else is going to.
I know that, but nobody cares. Do you know how much food from grocery stores goes straight in the trash? Even and then it's illegal to get it out of the trash and eat it.
Well,
And
technically, this isn't from the trash.
even beyond that, we probably shouldn't have meat on us if we're going to be tracking down herbivores.
Oh no, it's sealed away. You don't have to worry about it.
Right.
and I've just walked off.
Bye.
But not before I steal a couple more things and just run out.
I mean,
So, this may be a dumb question, but are unicorns like an indigenous species?
Hmm.
um,
I would say
the unicorns in Green Hills Valley are kind of a species that developed after European unicorns spread to the Americas.
Hmm.
Um,
oh yeah,
and
that's
if you
that's
want to know more about that, you should probably ask the caretaker later.
Yeah, good idea.
um uh, I'm gonna look at all these armors and see if they're of any use.
They are definitely not your size. They're made for normal humans, basically.
At least, but are they useful? Because I can take a chest plate of multiple of them and put them together.
Just weld them together into one.
Look, Shadow. We don't have time for that. Let's just keep going.
Nope.
I mean, what's behind this door here?
The one you're standing in front of?
Yeah.
Through the boards, you can see a very comfy armchair and a shelf with books on it.
Hey, that sounds like exactly the place I want to go.
Shadow.
Yes.
I mean, you said loosely boarded up. I can probably
Yeah, you
also
can
do that
probably
myself.
pry them off with some effort.
Yeah. If I need to, I can get a knife from the kitchen.
Yeah, and you're probably slim enough to like get through even with just a few boards removed. So this
All
seems
right.
to be a small private library of sorts. It's not super full with books, but there definitely is a lot of reading material on here. The books mostly look fairly old, and some of them also look like they might be pretty valuable, like bound in very heavy, high value leather and having like golden borders and stuff like that.
Mm.
And you also see some definitely, probably very valuable scrolls and stuff in the corner.
Well, I don't want to break them. I'll just take note of this, like literally, in a notebook. Maybe the agency are gonna want to retrieve those at some point. But also, I go take a look at the stuff that seems to be like spread out here, like things that were in use. Is there anything of interest there? Should I roll investigate a mystery for that?
What is of interest about them, and I can tell you that even without investigating mystery, is that they were definitely soaked in water a whole while ago. They have dried by now, but of course they have kind of like this crumbly texture now, and the ink has completely smudged.
Well, that's unfortunate. All right, then I guess I also want to scan like the bookshelves for anything about unicorns. What are my basic moves?
Oh, before you roll, if possible, I'd like to help with that.
Okay, oh yeah, sure.
All right. Sounds like it could be a pretty important roll, so here we go. Nope.
We should probably have done this exactly the other way around.
Oh, it's fine. I mean,
Okay, so total miss, and we both get consequences.
Oh dear. Well, but you also mark experience, right?
Yes, mark experience.
Very nice. Um, Well, sorry, what was the negative consequence again?
I don't think it lists one. You can just make as hard a move as you like.
Oh, okay. I actually don't think I need a hard move here. It's just that, you know, all of these books are on mythological creatures of some kind. So of course you find books on unicorns specifically too, but they're pretty much all stuff you already know, like that.
They're big
They're
horses with
virgin.
horns.
They're horses with horns, and that's it. And
They
there are
also
definitely also books on how you can use their bodies. Um, there are some fairy tales in there, like Grimm's fairy tales for sure, but that's pretty much it.
Mm. Well, that isn't very useful right now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So we are probably busy with that for a while. What's Shadow up to?
I did something I'm hoping is beyond human limitations.
Yeah, and you're trying to achieve that with your runes and actually manage to roll weird.
Very,
Is it a weird for basically using magic?
I'd
Yeah,
say
he
so.
wants to do something that is beyond human. That's a use magic thing. Yeah.
Because if it works, you're just gonna see me do something very funny.
All right. Give me just a second. Because I also forgot to create this.
I had to go back into the pre-numeral
Yeah.
pack, the first one, to find the hunter reference sheet,
mm,
just so I could see if I could do something.
okay.
So yeah, one of the effects is just do one thing that is beyond human limitations.
Well, the one thing
Yeah.
I'm gonna do is beyond human limitations.
I feel like bar a place or portal, so like obstruct it. Is that what that specific effect means?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll say, yeah, it is one thing that is beyond human limitations, but it's not like in D&D. It is much more limited. Okay, Shadow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how limited?
Like,
Just say what you want to
it's-
do. What is?
No, I want to keep
think
using suspense.
think more of a camping backpack, basically.
But how is it? Is it still what I said though?
I am so
Or-
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah.
Okay, you hear a rustle outside, Patrick and Josh. All you see is the armor pieces disappearing. You see me grab them and then they disappear.
We'll have to play a bit of Tetris with them in there, but I
That's
think
fine.
we
I
can.
just grabbed. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna move you out of the way. I grabbed the three cloak. Oh, actually, the four metal armors, and then I grabbed the cloak on the fire and wrap it around me.
I love how two of you are just like professional working people on a job, and Shadow's just looting. Just like, ooh, rich person house. This is mine now.
Hey, if I could take this entire house, I would.
Yeah, I gathered.
So, for your information, I just made a bag of holding.
It's not as like huge as in D&D or anything. It's more like a camping backpack in a very small space, or maybe
Oh
a bit
my
larger
God.
than that.
It's a handy have a sec. I see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it does have more space on the inside. Yeah.
I was wait. How deep is the inside? Because I was saying 5 feet by 5 feet. Because that's still enough to place a lot, quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like camping backpacks, I think of these huge things that you can like store whole tents and sleeping bags and then some in, you know, like very roomy, but just not as huge as the D&D bag of holding because that I feel like
That's
that
all
would
good.
be
I can just
extreme.
say this is my first attempt, and I'm trying to refine it. But
Yeah,
it's still working, so I'm taking
You,
all these little armors.
you could probably fit Izzy in there.
yeah, could definitely fit Izzy in
Wait,
there. There's
which
not
one's
much to it.
is that the ice drive? Frost
That's
drive?
Huh?
yeah. That's the small undead child that is
Ah, okay.
Nicht's other character.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay,
I
well,
guess I come out of the library. I'm like, Shadow, what did I just say about the looting?
I'm gonna turn to you and say, to not loot all the food. You
Says
weren't.
Lewis, slowly putting a bit of armor away.
I'm Look, man, I'm in enough trouble as it is. I don't need this right now.
Don't worry, the armor stands are gone too. As I've like broken them down and put them like they were already destroyed.
You notice, by the way, that a lot of it looks genuinely antique. Like this is probably some legit stuff, not just replicas.
Actually, because I've stolen the armor, can I actually look at the mage-looking clothes to see if there's any special effects? Because if not,
Oh
I'm gonna
my
leave them.
god. No, I like put myself bodily between the cloaks and Shadow. No,
I just
enough
reach over him,
over her.
over her. Sorry, I reach over her.
Hey, would you guys mind if Drew still joined us? Because we just asked.
Yeah, of course.
Uh,
That's fine.
That's fine. It's
No,
just
it's
gonna be
fine.
funny because he's gonna rock on up and see me and Patricia.
I took a second helicopter.
No, we can just say that he went to the bathroom while we went inside.
I guess.
Maybe,
Maybe.
yeah. Just told him to hop on in. Shadow, you can definitely notice that whatever magical effects these items had has just faded over the long, long time that they've existed. And there still clings like this faint hum of magic to them, but they would probably not be very useful anymore. They are mainly here as like breaking pieces, conversation
Okay.
starters.
Well, I still take the very end cloak and yeah, because I can write runes on it.
I mean, if Petty
That's
lets
cool.
you.
No, just
I reach over,
stop.
Patty.
I Shadow, just come on. Listen, I'm not
Okay.
gonna take you on any more hunts if you keep doing this shit.
Hey, hey, hey! I was
Bad
very
dog.
useful in our last one with Azra. Okay, I didn't steal anything then. I just see antique abandoned house with stuff they don't need anymore.
I mean, look, like ideologically, I agree with you, but like you are, like you are threatening my job, and that is my fucking livelihood. Just stop, damn it!
Okay. As I'm walking away, you see me tuck the cloak just neatly and discreetly into the bag.
Stop. It's pretty full now, though.
You know, I imagine that Azra is probably clued us into this sort of kleptomaniac side of Shadow, so
No,
I
no, he
notice
hasn't.
it, but I'm just focused on the mission, so it's like, yeah,
I
Yeah,
actually don't think
Joshua
Azra.
is just standing here like, what else do you expect from a monster? I mean,
yeah.
duh.
I'm gonna go investigate these statues though.
They are statues of mythological creatures, and there's nothing special to them. They are literally just rock,
One of them's broken.
pretty rock. Yeah, Whatever rampaged through this house definitely did a number on that thing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go to this doorway and crack it open if Josh wants to go.
Okay.
No.
Oh, then. Let's have a
Right.
look.
As you correctly assumed, there were servants here. You have found the servants' quarters.
Almost.
Why is there math on the wall?
It's actually not math, but some notes, especially on like the care of some of the creatures in the household.
I'm gonna open the lockers and see if there's any notebooks they can give us information.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe someone has a diary or something.
Shadow, are you done stealing?
I'm
No,
looking for information.
Ah, right. Sure.
I'm done stealing. I've started stalking. My goodness.
I'm done stealing for now. There's nothing left for me to take.
Yeah.
Within
I
the
guess.
within the lockers there are only very measly belongings, like several changes of clothes usually, and sometimes like a very cheap phone, like the kind that is that you literally get like for $10 at some kind of convenience store or something, because you know, they're cheap and old and only can call and text. So there is not super much here. This was not a very happy place, it seems.
I'm checking the phone because there might be messages on there.
It's turned off though, so.
Okay. Well, I smashed through this wall then. See what?
Sure.
Oh,
Well,
Also,
that looks even
quarters.
worse.
Yeah.
What the
yeah.
fuck is this place?
I'm gonna check the lockers again, even if I find nothing. Like something.
You find some working plans. They basically just tell you the schedules of people who worked here, and days off and so on.
I hand that to Patricia or Patty.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I hand the work plans to Patricia because that might.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Mainly they show the fairly normal rotation of cleaning staff and cooking staff, because some people actually like prepared the meals here apparently. What's also interesting is that you also find a whole bunch of paper plates and some plastic plates here that were frequently used. So this might also have been where the staff usually ate.
What the actual fuck is this? They didn't even get proper cutlery and. It's what's in the next one. Ugh.
Shadow's already at the door, so I'm just gonna assume he's gonna do smash.
Oh shit.
This is obviously where the former owner of the house was done away with. You can also see why he probably went in this room. Like, it was clearly kind of an especially safe room for him.
Ah, this is the gun room.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to get to some weapons before he died.
Is a. I'm like looking at Patty.
Don't even think about it. Let me just take a step back and let me have a look at the crime scene, okay? Wait, there's white tape there, so I guess
like,
there was some investigation already, yeah?
there definitely was. Like, someone also boarded up all the rooms.
I
There
mean,
were
yeah,
people here, and they had a basic look at the crime scene for sure.
Mm. Well, so Joshua, this is we should have a look at this.
Yep.
I'll assist because I'm definitely better at that. Where is help out? Here's help out. Are you kidding me?
Amazing.
What happens if you fuck up a help out anyway? I forgot.
It doesn't.
Oh yeah,
Nothing. It just you don't help out.
it's just another chance for the GM to be mean to you, to bully
Yeah.
you a bunch.
Hi, that's me.
So, what do you guys think I should ask for the hold? Because I imagine that as I'm doing the little magical stuff, everybody's kind of involved with the kind of looking around and feeling things out.
Hmm. Hmm.
Gesundheit?
Jesus. Wait. Right. What are the questions again? There are some questions, aren't there? Is that
Mhm.
what can it do might be a thing, because this guy was like, if I remember that correctly, the guy was killed by the unicorn.
Yeah, probably. Like that's
So
the current
maybe
thing.
looking at this could help us figure out what it can do. Like, for example, trample a guy's head into mush or something. Oh, but also
Sorry.
maybe not. I don't know.
I'm trying to find the questions, but
Yeah,
actually,
and this.
Ken already replied that yeah, trampling to death is exactly what happened there.
Okay. Wait, what do you mean we know that this unicorn is a carnivore? How do we know that, Shadow? I must have missed
Huh?
something.
What? Yeah, what?
Oh, Shadow is in chat.
Yeah.
For now, look at the bite marks. We know that this unicorn is a carnivore. What bite marks?
That,
There is no
but
body.
yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's a carnivore. It can, herbivores can still kill other creatures without eating them,
And no, I don't think it's hunting normal unicorns. I think the fear is just that it's gonna start breeding with them.
right?
It's
I
gonna
mean,
do the African bee thing.
exactly. I was just about to say that's what it sounds like. Honeybees being, Africanized, as they use that term specifically for bees.
Hmm.
That is a fraud term, but
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they call it. So
Yeah. No, I believe you. It's just wow, what a term. Oof. Anyway, yeah, bad unicorn smashes people to bits. So any cool guns here? I should not start looting. That's beneath me.
There are many cool guns here. They, for the most part, don't seem to have ammunition though. Um, it's it's not even completely sure if the guns that are still there are completely functional, because you definitely see that some pieces are missing from the glass cases, and it's like it would be very likely that the stuff that actually seems functional would have been removed to make sure that that stuff at least doesn't get out somewhere.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Also, I make very sure that Shadow doesn't steal all these piles of cash that there are on the table. Is that
Yeah,
cash? Is that what it is?
that's cash.
They just left that there, so
It's
I
just
guess
some.
it's pocket change.
Those are, yeah. Those are
Just a
just some
handful,
cash.
$1,000.
some cash stash, you know?
Hmm.
It's in a few different currencies too. Like definitely some euros in there too.
Hmm.
Um, Shadow, you don't find any of it, I'd say.
All right.
You do find a jukebox though. You can play What's Up Pussycat a whole lot of times. With one, it's not unusual in the middle.
Oh no. Listen, that's a war crime. We don't do that. Anyway, uh, I can't think of anything else to look at here. Maybe we should look at the final part of the mansion.
Sorry.
What do you mean, sorry?
I did a hiccup, and I thought that was audible for you guys.
Hiccup.
Yeah,
Dastardly.
it definitely distracted me for a moment, so I didn't quite catch everything you said.
Just gonna have a look at the last place in the mansion that we haven't been.
Okay.
Also, Shadow,
So,
you're gonna have to make your own music because Chen
yeah,
didn't have the time to set up that kind of thing.
yeah, sorry.
Just
I'm sorry, I know I have failed you. Yeah, you definitely find two big, like several big caged departments here. That among other, like, mostly contain the remains of some creatures that also lived here, apparently. The one on the left looks very much like some sort of slug creature, and the one on the right looks like some gooey remains of something.
ugh.
Yeah. Um those look like they just uh died from natural causes. Like just either starved or like thirsted to death. I don't know what that's like. Or had some kind of shock or whatever.
Hmm. Well, okay. I think we have established the most important thing there was to establish in this house. The owner was a massive piece of shit.
Hmm. It was a what?
Totally.
Just an entire what?
So yeah, Patty looks at that, very quickly decides that she wants none of that, and then goes, "Well, I think we should go have a talk with the caretaker."
What do the others say to that?
Yeah, so sorry, maybe I'm getting certain things mixed up here. I thought this was the caretaker's place.
No,
Okay.
this is the mansion the aggressive unicorn came from.
Yeah.
Right, but this mansion is within the valley, right?
Yeah, it is, but it is on the other side of the valley from the protected area from the park.
Okay. So wait a minute. The people here, would they have been aware of the pact or not? Or is this these are like mundane people that have been attacked just because they were near the reserve?
Yeah, as far as you know, these were mundane people who were in here, like working in here, and they were aware of the pact.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I got mixed up then. So when we landed in the helicopter, where did we land? Just like right over here, or did we
Yeah,
travel?
right next to the mansion.
There was
Oh,
a
Um,
okay.
helicopter
So I
pad.
got
it's
mixed up. I
about
thought this was like the caretaker's place. Okay, got it, got it.
no
So yeah,
problem.
let's definitely check out. Well, let's check out the second floor though, because we already figured out the path there.
There is no second floor.
The second
I'm joking.
floor is burned down.
Oh, okay.
No, if you check it out, I just have to try and go theater of mind, and there won't be as many rooms in there then.
Oh, I mean that's fine. If it's not really an avenue, then sure. Let's we can just hand wave it and just say, yeah, we checked nothing.
Yeah,
We check it and there's nothing, and
there's nothing special up there. There is one room that is definitely like a collection of art pieces that this person apparently especially liked, all looking prohibitively expensive, of course, and a very lavish big bedroom and a very lavish, no, two very lavish big bathrooms. Um, all of it looks pretty untouched from the calamity that happened on the first floor, and also very, very luxurious.
fuck this place.
Also, Shadow, the nothing of use is on the bodies. Like they're just these poor creatures who, well, had their best days behind them.
Well, hi, Drew. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Me neither. Have you accidentally muted yourself? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Drew. Or Grant. Grant Drew.
I
Okay, we'll give him a sec.
righto.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
Affirmative.
Get off of push to talk though.
Yeah.
There we go. Excellent. Her.
Shadow, nothing you could discreetly take. I'm sorry, but like most of that stuff is pretty big. I think that's also visible in the picture.
Like just fuck this guy. Look at that. He slept in this huge fucking soft bed every day, and I've been sleeping on freaking benches on train stations the past few weeks because the fucking agency won't pay for hotel rooms, and I can't afford hotel rooms. Who does this guy think he is?
Rich. Drew, you arrive later than the others, with the helicopter. Let me pull up the map of the place real quick for you, so you two can understand what's going on. I am just gonna do this once more. Up here, on the top left, is where you arrived. It is the mansion of a very rich person who loved to collect mythological creatures, and their latest purchase, a European unicorn, has apparently not been very happy with that idea, trampled them to death, and took off. It took off towards the huge forest at the bottom, which is a kind of safe space or a bit like
Preserve.
wetlands preserve. Thank you. Oh, which is a preserve for peaceful unicorns that a lot of hunters actually get a lot of useful resources from. And that cute little farm in the middle is where the caretaker of the preserve has their place. And
Okay.
currently, as you arrive with a helicopter, you probably see, like, you probably notice that there are noises coming from inside the mansion you landed next to, which should be your compatriots. Um, I think it would be good if you introduce your character real quick. Sure.
There we go. Sorry, I disconnected again for some reason, but I'm good.
All
I
right.
think we're good
Did you
now.
hear any of the exposition?
I heard about the like game reserve, and then right as you got to the mansion, I disconnected. And I know why I disconnected, so I won't do it again.
Okay.
Nice.
I forgot that opening my headphone case disconnects things, so I won't be doing that much anymore.
All right.
Alrighty.
Um. So what I was saying was that next to the helicopter pad, there is that mansion, and in that mansion lived a rich person who loved to collect exotic creatures. And one of their latest purchases was a European unicorn of a fairly aggressive, very old subspecies, which apparently decided to trample that person to death and take off towards a unicorn preserve across the mountain range. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and basically, you have been tasked with convening with the caretaker of the preserve and kind of developing a game plan for getting that thing out of there.
What I don't understand though is what happened to all the people? Because this thing, as far as we know, isn't a carnivore, so bodies shouldn't have been dragged away. And when we got the message and got over to this place, was there any contact or one of the servants that put out the distress call? I mean, how I feel like there's this piece missing that's pretty big, and how did yeah, what happened to them? I'm really concerned about that.
There is some additional information you can ask your family for if you like.
Yeah, I'd like to ask them basically just that whole spiel I just had.
hmm I'll let a bit of time pass before you get an answer because they do need to get back to you with that information, if
Okay.
that's okay.
Hmm.
Alright, so do any of us know Drew personally
Yeah.
yet?
Joshua has been on an adventure or
Yeah,
two with him.
I've definitely worked with Joshua at least once before, probably um, before then. Just
Hmm.
not in a actual game before, but I have
Nice.
worked with him once before at least.
Yeah, and the family as well. So
Yeah. I'm in the know.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I figured that. I mean, just, just wanted to avoid a situation where Drew comes in and we're all waiting for one of us to introduce us to him, and nobody knows him.
Yeah, that'd be a bit of a problem.
Hmm.
There we go. Now I gotta.
All right, so um,
There we
I
go.
guess we're having that talk now. It's like, hey, who the fuck is this? Because I don't think Patricia knows Drew.
yeah, I make the introductions, and especially with we're dealing with a magical game reserve. This would be absolutely the person that would be called in since he's a forest ranger.
Yeah, so I at least know the mundane game reserve protocol, and know how to. I am pretty experienced with treating injured animals too. Um, not so much injured supernatural animals, but I can manage normal ones. So
Nice. Yeah,
I could
that
do that.
that should come in handy. Okay, good. Yeah. Nice to meet you. I'm Patricia. I'm with the agency. I show you my badge. It looks very weird. We've basically looked at the whole house already. Bottom line, uh, owner was terrible piece of shit, and it's good that they're dead. Do we find any other useful information? I guess he was trampled to death by the unicorn, but we knew that already. Um, hmm. Hmm. No, I guess that's it.
That'll do.
Yeah. We should go we should go talk to the tech cake. I cannot talk anymore. The tech caker, that's the one. Let's go to the tech caker.
It's okay.
Let's go.
All right. Everyone okay with that?
Sounds good.
Tommy?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
So you do make the hike, which is several hours, like almost half a day, but not too long, not too exhausting. And as you arrive, this is juicy. The caretaker
Aw.
is sitting in the shadow of a tree not far from his farmhouse and currently tending to a very cute white horse with something on its forehead, probably a baby unicorn, which is
Ooh.
hungrily suckling from that bottle.
Hello there. We recall. I'm sure that we probably contacted this person. They know we're coming, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As you arrive and he notices you, he definitely looks up and gives you the brightest, happiest, most relieved beam, and then looks a bit helpless and apologetic for a moment because he definitely needs to wrap up the feeding first before he can tend to you.
Well, shit,
But
nobody's ever been this happy to see me.
yeah, well, he is. So
Oh, this is a really nice farm.
disregard that the tree is not visible in the picture. But
What tree?
geez, the tree he sat under.
Yeah.
Also, that is tiny, teeny tiny. We try and make that bigger.
So I introduced myself. What's his name?
His name. Wait a second. There. He immediately greets you with an welcome. My name is Marcel Moreau. I am the caretaker of this preserve. You must be the hunters that are sent here to help me with the invasive species, yes?
Yep, that is us.
That would be us.
I am so relieved that you are here. I am very worried because it seems like one of the unicorns has already disappeared. I found this motherless baby very recently. And he pets the foal that is snuggled up next to him. I heard that I am supposed to brief you on this.
Hmm.
Yes,
That would
please
be
do.
good.
What do you already know, and what do you still need to know?
Well, we were just at the house where the crime happened.
Uh,
We know there's a German unicorn about, and it's bad business, and uh, people are very worried that that the bad unicorn might well might ruin the ecosystem, I suppose.
yes, the German unicorns, at least the very old species, um, they were very aggressive and territorial, and so we worry especially that it might mate with the females in the preserve and might get too aggressive towards the males. It is
Mm,
very worrying.
yeah. So, okay, some quick questions. How does one kill a unicorn?
Kiel, well, they are they are pretty easy to hurt in most of the ways that other creatures can also be hurt.
Do we
Um,
want to kill it though?
Yeah,
Like,
we
is
don't
there a way
necessarily
that we
have
can
to,
like calm it down and just
right,
like,
capture it, send it
bring it
back to
back?
Germany.
Yeah.
yes, that would definitely be my preferred way of dealing with it
I
because
just, I
I
just,
do. It
so
is just an animal. It does not mean to be aggressive, you know?
I just stare at Joshua like he's just done a headstand out of fucking nowhere. It's just like, what? What?
Since when do you not want to kill a monster? What?
You know, there's a difference between monsters that have traditionally hunted people and killed people versus monsters that have, or non-humans that have proven very useful for hunters in terms of, horns, medicinal properties, and things like that. Joshua is not some, monster himself that can't delineate between these different sorts of things.
Yeah, but
And when it comes
Patricia
to
doesn't
something
know
that's an
that.
animal that doesn't have a conscious desire to harm people, that's something very different. Joshua would not want to just, kill something that is just acting out on its natural instincts. The difference is that for monsters, there is a will behind that, that,
Mm,
is something that is completely different.
yeah, believe me, I assumed as much, but like Patty did not. Patty's
Do
just
you
very confused because she knows Joshua mostly by reputation.
um does Joshua actually mention these things in
Yeah,
character?
sure.
Yeah, okay.
Uh Marcel nods at him a bit but looks a little bit unsure and says, well, to be fair, the German unicorns have been very aggressive towards humans in the past. Not as aggressive as the Japanese one, who actively hunt people they consider bad, but it is and it will be more aggressive towards humans than you might expect. Specifically humans.
Sure. So it's one of these things where if we have to harm it, absolutely. But if we're able to, it doesn't mean that we have to kill it outright.
Yes.
Would it be out of the
But
realm of possibility that Drew would have brought like some sort of like tranquilizer or something? Because that's kind of, like he works in a forest where like, bears are a thing. So
yeah,
I
I would
don't
totally
want to
give you
just say
that.
that I have it, but
Yeah.
I mean,
It goes.
I know that obviously won't solve our problem outright. Like, I can't just be like, okay, tranquilizer, problem solved, bing bang boom. But that might come in handy at one point if that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you wanna check with Marcel if you find it useful?
Yeah. Do you think tranquilizers would help? Like a use for like a bear or something?
Oh yes, definitely. You might need more than usual. Yeah, but it should work. I should also
Alrighty.
mention very quickly that it is more nimble than the normal unicorns. Its body looks more like that of a goat than that of a horse. So its legs are not as easily injured and it is more nimble and active. So you must be wary of its ability to move very fast.
okay, but
Um,
does it have any any special abilities that are like outright magical nature, or is it just a big dumb animal?
It is actually less magical in nature than most of the unicorns already living in the preserve.
Mm-hmm.
But it does have more actually physical properties like a much longer arm and definitely a much stronger, quicker body.
Okay, don't get stabbed. Got it.
Pretty much. I wish I could.
Um,
I wish I could accompany you, but I cannot leave the baby alone.
no, yeah, no, that's fine. I think we have all we got. Don't worry about it. We are professionals after all, right?
well, I'm not, but that's what I do. So,
I mean,
well, I mean, in this specific situation, yeah, I
Yeah, what are you
actually
talking
am,
about? You
yeah,
are.
yeah, it was
but not,
perfect.
yeah,
As professional
yeah.
as it gets.
Um, right. The usual unicorns. Any special do's and don'ts with those? Because I would hate to also have to run from them while hunting for the bad one.
Or you should be alright with them. They are used to humans in their vicinity because both I and at times other hunters come here and interact with them. So they are very peaceful. Um, they might be easily spooked at times. They are closer to actually frequently hunted animals, so that is how they respond.
Mm. Hmm. I see. I see.
Alrighty. Well, should we get looking then, folks?
Sounds good.
I guess we
Yeah.
should.
I
But
can.
wait, but honestly, I just realized something. This is probably a very big forest, right? We can't just go in there and hope to just stumble across it. We need a way to either bait it or track it.
Well,
Well,
why
if
don't we go check out the forest and see if there are any like telltale signs? Because if we notice that like trees are torn up or something, we can probably use that to find it. But if not, then I think the best bet is to use bait of some sort.
Hmm.
yes, you should easily find signs of it because this species is very known for rampaging a bit. So it will probably have left quite some traces around the forest.
So speaking of bait, I mean, are any of the female unicorns right here, like right at this point in heat? So maybe we could bring one of them with us to lure it out.
I am unsure of that. There were no female unicorns in it. when the actual incident happened and it came here, but I have been advised not to go into the forest while it is still there, so I cannot check if there are any signs of unicorns in heat since then. It is not, they do not usually have a unified phase of it each month or each year, so it is very difficult to know exactly.
Okay.
Okay, other forms of bait, what do unicorns eat?
Oh, they eat a lot of the finer herbs and plants that grow in the forest. They are not extremely picky or anything, but the quality of the plants around them is usually naturally higher, so
Ah,
it
Do we
helps.
do we have to worry about it coming to us? Because we do know that it is particularly aggressive. Like, is it just trying to stay away, or will it find us? Because in which case, I think we need to be more prepared for how we react.
I am unsure because I do not know too much about how exactly this species work, but I know that it is territorial, so it is possible that if it notices that you are in the territory, it will try to come close to you because it senses intruders.
Do you know where the territory is set up at?
Well, it usually, for most of the resident unicorns, it ends at the edge of the forest, just about. I can imagine that our current visitor extended the territory to the river. It has not, I have not come across it while close to the river so far, so hopefully it stays on the other side. I pull up the map real quick as a little visual reminder of where everything is.
Okay,
So
so we have.
it's mostly in the plains then. If its border ends at the edges of the forest and doesn't come any further than the river.
Yeah. I personally think that it is probably at the moment in the forest, because that is where the others are.
all right.
Let's go check it out then.
One second.
I'm guessing that's like the perimeter of it. Maybe a bit bigger, but yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back.
Actually, it also might have taken over one of these old fortresses to sleep in. So yeah,
Oh,
we're
apropos, the fortresses you see on the map are all not real. They are replicas. Basically, the current unicorns that live on the preserve are still descendants from European unicorns in some ways. So they do, for some reasons, feel very drawn to European looking ruins. And so we built some for them so they can have places to relax.
Oh, fucking imperialist horses.
we're
Bring
still
their
gonna have
fucking castles over here.
we're still gonna have to check though because that's a German unicorn too, and they might be drawn to the ruins.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that is very possible.
yeah, good point. Might get homesick. I hear Germany's just lousy with castles.
I wouldn't know about that, but perhaps, yeah.
I don't know much about Germany. It just seems very very wild to me that these things can even live there uh without nobody noticing. I'm
I, I myself do not know how that works. There are rumors that they are mainly left alive by people who treat them as exotic pets, which is absolutely abysmal.
oh yeah. But also a great way to get rid of shitty people.
Uh, I think it sounds like a bit crass way for that. I do not know. You would definitely see that this totally flusters Marcel, who is obviously like mentally encountering the notion that these unicorns might lash out against their holders for the first time and is just super uncomfortable with the idea.
It was just a joke. Don't worry. It's fine. Let's right.
Yes.
Let's get moving.
No.
Let's go find ourselves a unicorn.
All right. So, as you have been told, the first place you will have to go to get towards the preserve is the river, and you see there's only one bridge so far,
Right.
so that is where this takes you. This is the
Whoop
path.
whoop.
Patty is just always the first one everywhere.
I'm the boss.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh.
all right, everybody. Um, I say Shadow takes point.
And not just because I'm in the front already, eh?
I can cover the back.
Yeah. Very nice.
All right.
And I will stick in the middle.
Yeah, nice.
Yay.
Also, I think at this point I put away the submachine gun. Just go with the hunting rifle instead.
I go over to where Patricia is and grab the side of his hunting rifle and quickly carve into the grip of it a rune.
What kind of room? That I think that would be working magic, right?
Yeah, I'll roll weird for it. It's just a rune to keep, so you can take a steady shot, so it keeps it steady.
Uh,
It won't sway.
It's still she.
Oh wow!
Sorry,
Shadow's crushing it with magic. well,
it keeps it steady, and the shots are more powerful.
So
Nice.
I guess it's +1 harm and plus magic. Noise.
yeah. Very nice.
Okay, this doesn't
Hey,
change
thanks.
the roll, but I did check. You've got 2 instances of +3. Is that on purpose?
Hmm?
If you
Oh yeah, I
actually,
have a +3 weird.
yeah, but it
Oh
looks
yeah.
like you're putting in +3 because that's what it shows on the roll.
Yeah.
Is it?
Huh?
Yeah. In this instance,
Oh.
it
Yeah, when you
doesn't
hover
matter.
over it, it
But
doesn't change the
yeah.
roll, but it's just
Yeah.
that.
That's weird, because I was just doing that how we normally do it.
Are you adding? How are you rolling, by the way?
I'm clicking on it, and then it's there, just typing it in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, something's up with your sheet then because it's adding +3 twice.
That's really weird. What is? Hold on, let me close this down then.
Is it adding the weird score twice? Or, by the way, hello everyone.
Hey.
Is it adding
Hi.
the weird score twice?
Hi.
Or what's going on there? Do you think?
Or are you using are you putting in the modifier +3 because it already will add that
Oh,
+3?
okay, yeah, that's probably what it's adding.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Because if you already have it in your stats, you don't have to add it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm still rolling high anyway. It's not.
Yes, it's true. It's true. It doesn't change
It
the
doesn't
roll,
really
but
change
like
anything.
Yeah,
just
both rolls
fix
were
it
like
for the future.
you had a 10 with the last one, and you have an 11 with this one. So still goes off without a hitch. Very nice. But yeah, it's good to fix it.
Okay. So, yeah, that's the
Um,
first bridge crossed. We are very good at this.
Amazing. As you cross the river, um, first off, Shadow, I'd like you to make a sharp roll. And secondly, the rest of you immediately notice that, like, on the other side of the river, the grass is just greener. Like, literally, the grass looks more healthy. There are flowers blooming everywhere. The vegetation just looks so vital and healthy and good.
I got a
Oh,
12.
very nice. Shadow, you smell blood. It's definitely not human blood, but it is around here somewhere.
The left side of where I've walked over the bridge isn't. There's still blank.
Yeah. And you smell it from that direction.
Yeah. Well,
Meanwhile,
I'm
everybody
heading.
else is just like, look at this fucking grass.
It's good fucking grass, okay? Some high
Shit.
quality grass. Goddamn.
Grass him. Um,
Yeah. You find a trail of blood near the riverbed.
you found something, boy?
Oh, thank you, Trisha. I say this in character too. If you said that,
Yeah.
Sorry, could you repeat what you said in character? I didn't quite catch it.
if you said, "Did you catch anything, boy?" I will
Yeah.
punch you straight, like right now.
Duly noted.
I will roll for tough to punch you if you had said that in character.
And this is why I didn't say that in character. La la la.
And judging by the way you're doing it, I slowly take out my great sword.
Stop!
Yeah.
I can
it's-
also
it's
change
fine.
the pick
I
on
get
the
it.
rune.
I get it. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Okay, no dog puns. Got it.
All right.
Touchy.
Well, if you follow the trail, this is what you find.
Ew.
Ooh.
Drew?
Yeah,
Wanna-
I'll run over and just see like what's up. That's not
Yeah.
good. It's lost a lot of blood from at least what the picture shows.
Yeah. You definitely see that it is still breathing. It's like a very shallow, quick
Oh,
breathing.
well, I'm instantly trying to cast a rune of healing above it. 9.
How do you do that exactly? Like how do you apply the rune to it?
Well, I'm gonna have to apply it to it, so I'm gonna have to use its blood as the component, and I draw on it
so fucked.
Oh dear.
a rune of healing.
But I hear unicorn blood is great for that sort of thing.
It's great for the complexion. So are you basically drawing the rune on the unicorn with the blood?
Yeah, with the blood that's surrounding it.
Yeah. And that's a 9. A 9 did.
Ooh,
Yeah, it
It's a
works.
glitch.
but there's a glitch.
Yeah.
Choose your effect in the glitch, exactly.
I'm gonna say it draws immediate unwelcome attention.
Oh, thank you so much, Shadow. You're playing directly in my head.
You
Um,
fool! You utter buffoon!
Oh, by the
You
way,
that's a
though,
two.
before all this happens, though, Drew was trying to do something. Maybe we could get that in there too.
Yeah,
yeah, that was when I said he notices that the breathing is very shallow.
Oh, okay.
can I see before anything goes completely healed? Can I see like what happened? Because that might give us some good insight. I mean, my guess is it's probably like gored to death with a horn, but I just want to know. Should I roll like a sharp or something?
Yeah.
Oh, dokie.
Hmm.
That might either be read a bad situation or investigate a mystery. Honestly, read a bad situation is probably very appropriate right now anyway.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah,
honest,
that-
I've been surprised.
Oh,
I've been rolling pretty well with magic.
Yeah, the
yeah.
dice love you tonight.
But also, +3 weird is considerable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh
very
well,
hard to fuck that up.
I have a +3 tough too because I leveled up. I
Hmm.
forgot to apply my level up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, goodbye, Solomon. Well, that is, I think, one question you can ask from the read a bad situation thing.
No, shoot. I gotta find that. Hold on a sec here.
I can
Um,
also tell you what they are.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
nice
me
until I can just find it. I thought there was a thing over here where I could shoot.
Yeah, what's the best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victims?
Um,
I think that last one might be good.
yeah, either that one or what's the biggest threat?
I don't know.
Well, we know the biggest threat.
Yeah,
But
Thou
I feel
must
Yeah,
that
that's
one's
true.
kind
It
of
probably
obvious.
is. Yeah, just what's the best way to help the victims then, probably.
Who do you define as the victims for this?
Us. No.
Probably the unicorn for now.
Oof. Keep them away from whatever did this.
Well,
Is this all that happens before Shadow does the rune?
by the way,
probably.
this rune, while it does work pretty fast and well, it doesn't heal them instantly. It takes like 5 seconds.
It's fine. As you touch the unicorn and paint the rune on it, you can quickly feel the healing power of that rune unfold. But as you try to draw your hand away, you can't.
I growl, if this is the bloody German unicorn, I'll slice its head off right now.
It
Uh,
doesn't. It doesn't look like it.
It definitely isn't. What it is suddenly a pretty big and
A
scaly, vaguely horse-shaped monstrosity that tries to throw you underwater with it.
Oh fuck!
I don't-
The
hold
biggest
on. Yeah.
danger, the biggest threat question was actually
It
the
wasn't-
good
oh,
question.
shoot.
Fuck!
Wait. So this
And your
is
hand is
fucking
firmly stuck
kelpie.
to it.
I'm gonna roll it tough to see if I can like stay on land.
Is that a move that you could? I don't know.
A 12.
Very nice.
So I'm staying where I am, and I'm just like looking at you. Can you help me?
Wait, now, so what are we looking at right now?
Probably a kelpie. That's
Yeah.
what I'm guessing.
Scaly horse.
I'd say at least Patty and Joshua will be positive that this is a Kelpie,
Okay.
which is an Irish horse that lives in the water and likes to try and drown people by posing as a beautiful horse.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah. It also has seaweed and stuff on it, and try and never go into the water with it, because if you touch it and go into the water, the hold just gets stronger.
Yep.
That's why I rolled to stay out of the water, not just because I will drown, and it will take ages for me to drown because I'm like 6'8" or something.
Well, so as soon as we notice that this has occurred, I mean, I want to roll kick some ass and, you know, harm this thing so it lets go of or breaks whatever spell that it has that's latching
No,
strongly onto it.
its skin is just naturally sticky. You just have to get lucky to break free from it.
I was about to
Or hurt
ask
it
how you
enough that
kick
it,
some ass,
yeah.
because like putting your body into direct contact with it
No,
might
no,
be a bad idea.
I'm gonna shoot my crossbow bolt at it.
Yeah, good idea. So roll some tough.
All right.
I sadly have like private notes here instead of like nicely set up token for this.
I'm gonna do something, and hopefully it's gonna work.
2 harm, close, slow.
That's rolled 7.
And double check. You inflict harm on each other.
Yeah, but do remember though that's if it makes sense for it to happen
Yeah.
because you know, I am shooting from ranged.
Yeah, I do remember how in the past, you had a lot of fun applying it to some poor, helpless NPC boyos who were trying to save instead.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I will apply the same logic here and instead have it inflict that damage on Shadow.
By
Like
the
the
way, that
moment,
does not hurt me.
well, that depends. This is guaranteed harm, right?
What do you mean guaranteed? It is harm, yeah. That you
Yeah.
just fly it,
Yes,
but
but I have
if
3 tough.
Exactly. So
If you
2
have like
harm.
armor or something, it'll.
do you have armor?
Yeah, if he shot me from behind, I have my.
No. He didn't shoot you. The Kelpie is doing something to you, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The idea is that as it is hit, it definitely freaks out at least a little and bites you to try and get a better grip on you to pull you in.
Oh, I have metal.
It's up yet.
Not metal. Leather. I have leather on.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Well,
how
how
much
much
armor
how much
is it?
armor is that?
I don't know.
It should
Well,
say on your character sheet, right? If you have armor.
Yeah. No.
Oh, the
No.
monstrous doesn't actually get armor.
Yeah.
I guess you are unarmored then.
Yeah, so you take 2 harm.
Oh. Oh, well. Okay, well. I'm getting confused. I thought tough was natural armor.
It's not.
No, tough
Tough
isn't
is not armor
at
at
all.
all.
Tough is
Yeah,
just what you roll to hit people
there should be
and
an option
protect people.
though on the monstrous sheet to have armor of some sort. So
Yeah,
There's only a mortal.
There's immortal,
okay,
We
which
suffer
is
1 less harm.
actually better than armor because it's not armor, but it does the same thing, which means it stacks with armor.
yeah, and it can't be pierced. So
Yep. But yeah, that's 2 harm, which is okay for now, but we should probably make sure that doesn't happen again.
Oh no, I just thought tough counted as like your.
that's in
No,
some
it
systems, but
doesn't.
not in this one. This one
Okay.
armor
Yeah.
is separate.
So.
Okay, So we need to get him off this horse. What would be the way to do that? I guess I just like grab Shadow's belt. I assume he's wearing a belt, and just grab his belt and try to pull him off the horse. Like help him
So
get off the horse.
I'm
is
gonna
he
look
like
behind
physically stuck, like it's sticky, or is it like magic? Because like, could I just like stab, like cut the area off? I guess it's kind of gruesome, but like just like cut
Just
off the
skin
part
this
that's
horse.
sticky. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. Could I
Well,
do that, or is it like magic where it just
It's
kind
kind
of
of a bit of both.
sticks? And also probably stabbing it with my knife would
Hey,
probably
hey,
just make
oh,
me stick.
I have a
too.
great idea. I'd like to read a bad situation, please. Is that okay? Tien?
I'm sorry, I muted myself and I'm sorry. Yes, it is okay to roll sharp for that.
Yeah. I just try to get a good idea of the situation by looking at all the options. And hey, finally a good roll.
The dice knew you needed this.
So, I'd like to ask, what's my best way out? Can I also
Run.
apply that to Shadow? Like, what's the best way to get Shadow off this horse?
I think that would be more like
What's
best
the
way
best
to protect
way
the
to
victim.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Then I'll go with that. What's the best way to protect the victims?
To either kill the Kelpie, spook it enough that it lets go of him, or probably cut off the hand that is connected to it.
Okay, well,
Okay, we gotta
well-
scare this Kelpie, you guys.
Or we
well,
can
this is happening.
amputate.
Oh hell no!
That should be our last.
I mean, you're a
sort of
Hey,
deal.
you're a werewolf, right?
It
If we
won't
cut
grow
off
back.
your hand, what? It won't?
No, I
Oh,
may heal fast, but I don't heal limbs.
I
oh,
mean, maybe that means that you just grow a new hand? I don't know.
no.
I
Sound.
can make a rune to regrow it, but it's painful. I'm not doing that.
Well, you
That's
could
the
get a
last
kick-ass metal hand.
That's- I'm gonna roll for weird to see if I can scribble down a rune of fire that will blast on the palm of my out the palm of my hand that's stuck to the kelpie.
Ooh.
That is a cool idea, but what do you draw the rune of fire on without getting your other hands?
No, I'm gonna rip a page out of the book, or take a page out of the piece of paper out of the book I have my runes, and then slap it down on the back of my hand.
Okay.
I have a rune book filled with runes, like it's odd bits at the end sticking out.
It's like one of these stamp books. You just tear them out.
Kind of. I'm gonna have to redraw it, but yeah, I got a 10.
How do I handle this? This is probably also kick some ass, right? Or is it magic?
I don't know. It's a bit of both.
It's
Yeah,
it's,
I'm asking Nicht and Tommy right now because they are the experts.
It's kick some ass because he's doing it to harm the thing, like, or rather, wait. Oh no, wait. You can actually just use magic, but that only inflicts one harm. But it ignores armor and is magic.
Right.
Okay.
But like, if you use magic as a weapon in any other case, that's kick some ass unless you have a special move that lets you roll something else for it.
Alright, then I guess you'll have to roll weird. Tragic,
Oh,
I know,
no.
because both of these values were 3 anyway. And there's another 10. Wow.
Christ.
Yeah, it goes off without a hitch, and the Kelpie does actually shy away from you. and immediately leaps into the water, leaving the that horn behind on the ground.
And the blood, was that also real?
That was also real, but
The
you couldn't
fuck?
see any big injury on the kelpie.
The fuck?
Can
Okay, I'm gonna cautiously take a look at the horn. Oh no, wait. I'm gonna like use my rifle to like nudge that horn away from the edge of the water and towards me, and then I'm gonna have a look at the horn. Because I'm not going near that.
All right. Well, that is a rather unique horn. Um, it definitely seems like a horn that might have belonged to a unicorn before, because it was definitely attached to something living. The base is very bloody. Uh,
Mm.
and yeah, looks kind of ripped off. Not very nice.
Okay, I still have some questions open for that read a bad situation. Are there any threats we haven't noticed?
Do you? What
Yeah,
did you
I
roll again?
I rolled a 10.
Yeah, he's got 3. Or Patty has 3.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's the 10. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
All right. What questions do you want to ask?
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Um, Nobody mentioned that Kelpie, and you might remember right now that the guy was not stabbed to death. He was trampled to death. So like this might be much more aggressive than the European unicorn towards people.
Okay. Shit. Okay, so I look at the other. So does this change mission parameters? Because like this is probably also a problem, no?
Not necessarily. Kelpies are pretty harmless unless there are humans nearby that
I mean,
think for.
this Kelpie literally left behind some ripped off horn.
Yeah, I point at the horn. That does not look harmless to me.
Is there a way we can tell if the horn was from one of these unicorns, or maybe this was actually the victim, the German unicorn was the victim here?
Yeah, considering that Marcel mentioned that the horn is notably longer than of the resident unicorn, this one is fairly short.
Okay.
So you can probably safely assume that it's not of the German one.
Okay, cool. So now we have to hunt and kill. I mean, to hunt.
Well, I like to, use magic, but once again, with my move to investigate a mystery. But you have one more question left, though, if you want to use it, Patricia.
Yeah.
I specifically just want to figure out how this horn was removed. Like, was it actually the Kelpie that did it? Or did the Kelpie come across it? So,
I guess. What's the biggest threat? Like, what do I think we should track down first? Kelpie or unicorn?
Well, I go with a base question. What's the biggest threat? This thing was apparently very eager to pick a fight with someone pretty big and large, and keep up the fight even when it was injured at first. So it might have an ulterior motive with dragging someone underwater. I mean, kelpies do that, yes, but considering that this horn means it must have it must have recently done the same thing to a whole ass unicorn. Uh, that is suspicious. It's possible that maybe there's another one down there.
Jeez. Well, how do you
I
even
think
kill a kelpie? Does anyone know?
I don't know, but probably if you shoot it enough times, it'll probably die. I don't know.
I wouldn't be so sure of that. You'd
Stab
assume
it.
that of
So
most monsters, and then they just, get back up and eat your face.
yeah, I want to narrow down the assumptions that we have here just to make sure. So are you saying that we're pretty sure, even without a roll, that the Kelpie took the horn, or has that not been actually confirmed yet?
That is very likely because it looks like it was ripped off.
Okay,
And as Marcel explained to you, the other unicorn would more use hooves or its horn
right.
to.
So Kelpies actually have like tactile digits, like they can actually
No,
pull, or are we talking like just use its teeth?
probably use its teeth, yeah.
Okay,
Like you can even see some bite marks on the horn
got it.
up close.
Okay.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Shadow, before you do that, let me take a look at your wound because I can heal more harm than you can. Because
Uh,
I have a med kit.
well, you can save that mid kit because I can just reapply. Oh, like I said, I was gonna
No,
do.
no, you can't. You can only heal each wound once, and you can only
Really?
heal one per application of use magic,
Yeah.
and I can heal two.
Okay. Well, I want to heal then.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like take it. Yeah, just gonna bandage up, clean and bandage up that horrible horse bite.
I'd like
And
to speak
then
to the caretaker and just say, Kelpies, what other things do you have around here in this, game reserve?
pretty sure this thing also escaped when the unicorn did.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
think
mean,
that's safe to
that's
say,
that's the
right?
implication, but now that we've got this, it's still a question that should be asked just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's also the fact that that dude's mansion disappeared, and he had quite a few cages filled with
Right.
mythical creatures.
yeah.
So
Anyway, here's my first aid roll, which means I can heal 2 harm. Boom.
Noise. Any downsides?
Um, no. If I had
But
rolled a 10 plus, I could have also stabilized him, but it's fine. He's stable.
oh. I was about to say, oh no, now he's suddenly unstable. No, no.
if I became unstable, I would instantly transform and start hunting and killing.
Beautiful.
Great idea in the middle of a preserve that you're supposed to, preserve.
Does have
Sounds
my character keys?
galaxy brain move. So yeah, knowledge that you now have, there's also a Kelpie on the loose. It has killed at least one unicorn. And yeah.
Another thing I want to do is maybe there's got to be someone who, well, at the mansion, um, maybe we should go back there because there should be some sort of manifest where, as a collector, he would keep records of everything that he's purchased. And I'd be really curious to see what other dangerous or potentially dangerous creatures this guy had.
Look,
And if there's more than one Kelpie, because what if there are multiple ones?
yeah, but also that's a crazy long hike. I think we should just like get what we know of right now, and then we can still check if there's more on the way back, you know?
Well, I
And
think
not
it's going to be a
necessarily
problem if
some, yeah, it's not necessarily
you
something that we have to physically go to. Maybe maybe the agency has records on this guy. Maybe, the Benton family, maybe somebody, because this guy had to have cleared these purchases with people who are familiar with the Penumbral Pact, because you can't just buy magical creatures without some oversight.
Yeah,
Um,
Patricia is just gonna look at you with like very tired eyes and be like, "Don't expect any help from the agency. Forget it. Forget
Speaking
about
of,
that."
by the way, Joshua, you get some messages from your family now.
Ah,
They've looked into this more,
Hmm.
and what they found out is that there were a lot of servants, and they actually managed to barricade themselves in the bathrooms when they first noticed the breakout. Um, there were actually no casualties among them. The bathrooms were also the least damaged parts of the first floor. Um, and they just seem to, for the most part, get away fairly scot free.
Did they actually see what did the attacking? So we're pretty sure it was a unicorn, but then Kelpies also got loose.
They heard screaming and they heard horse like noises,
Okay.
which they immediately associated with unicorn. Um, Most of them hadn't been completely present at the reception of the unicorn. That's something the master of the house always wanted to do in person because
Hmm.
they're his pets and, he should imprint on him, blah, 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 blah. So this happened rather suddenly before even a routine for the unicorn was developed.
Okay.
Um, they were the ones did put out a distress call once once it had gotten quieter, and your family also informs you that since the event, most of the other exotic creatures that managed to escape have been either caught or put down or just wasted away without anyone to take care of them.
Okay. Well, we need to figure out a way to kill a Kelpie. So, should that be investigate a mystery, or can I just ask my family?
I don't know, you're the most experienced.
Oh, I mean, whatever works for you in this situation.
I'd say you can just ask. Um, and your family replies to you pretty quickly that um kelpies are creatures of fairy in their basic nature, so cold iron actually hurts them.
Okay.
Oh, they're a fake creature.
Mm-hmm. I actually researched this. This is actually facts.
I
As
mean,
much as mythology can be facts.
it makes sense
actual
though.
real facts about unicorn. I mean, about Fae.
Most
Yeah.
Irish lore or mythology are fey creatures.
So, does anybody have some iron stuff on them?
I don't have. I have a knife, but it's most likely that would be steel as opposed to iron.
I'm looking through and I'm like, oh, I have this, and pull out an iron rod.
That's nice. And Patricia, is there any ammunition in your weapons that would fit the criteria?
Um, Probably not.
I mean, if need
Okay.
be, I can try
What
and
are
change
bullets made of nowadays?
with lead.
That's what I'm looking up.
Is it still lead?
Thank you. You're the real MVP for looking at it.
Um,
I don't know. It depends.
yeah, lead is, I guess, still the traditional material.
Yeah,
Yeah, lead alloys.
lead or copper.
Yeah, or copper.
Yeah, it's mixed with lead and copper. Copper,
So
steel, polymer,
I
rubber, wax. Yeah,
wouldn't have any iron.
Alright, so Patricia is useless for this.
not
I'm
necessarily.
sorry, Patricia.
Once again. No,
Wah, wah, wah.
does magic also work?
Um,
Because my rifle is magical.
Yeah,
yeah,
now.
right. It's magical now. It should also work for like normal damage. Um, but if you want to go for like the main weak spot and stuff
Yeah.
they can quickly recover from, then
Okay. So I'm not useless. I'm just not the most useful. Got it.
exactly. You can probably slow it down, maybe even scare it off. You're just not gonna one hit kill this thing.
Aim for the spine or for the shoulder muscles, legs. If you can't get a shot to take the heart.
So how do you guys want to handle?
Okay.
I'm gonna continue
Look,
on.
let's just double back to the farm, to the caretaker's place. Maybe he has at least like some horseshoes for protection.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, we're gonna go back because I can actually do something that I
Yeah.
wanted to do.
And I guess I pick up that unicorn.
Okay. It's gross, but okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, probably not the grossest thing I've ever touched because, um, that's the kind of business I'm in. But yeah,
As you return, Marcel's face, as he spots you, goes through a range of emotions. First, utter joy, because apparently he thinks you're already done. Then, insecurity and perhaps disappointment and worry, because he doesn't see a unicorn with you. And then confusion when he notices that you don't look as if you feel accomplished or anything either. And he walks towards you, carrying the baby unicorn basically under one arm. Is everything all right?
uh, quite the opposite. There is a kelpie on the loose.
It can't be.
Yes, it masqueraded as a dying unicorn with this, and I raise the horn.
He looks at the horn with utter shock, and gently takes it from your hands to have a closer look. Oh, oh no! This could be where the female disappeared to. Oh
Hmm.
no! Oh, Snowflake, your mother won't come back. I'm so sorry. And he
Uh,
pets the baby unicorn.
I look. This is probably a long shot because I don't assume you make a habit of like putting horseshoes on the unicorns. But do you have some horseshoes?
Well, of course, for my horses. And he points to those horses over there on the right.
Oh
Perfect.
shit! God damn it!
But I can't ride unicorns in the forest. That is just not a thing you do. Um, and he like beckons you over to go to the shed right behind those horses
Yeah,
and get out a whole bunch of horseshoes for you.
nice. Haha, yeah, it would be. I guess you'd have to be a virgin to ride a unicorn. Haha,
I
right?
mean,
Ha.
I am a virgin, but I just have too much respect of these creatures to do so.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. It was just a joke.
Oh no, it's not a problem. I am fairly open with this. I mean, uh, I work with unicorns. It is basically why I am so well predispositioned for this.
Hmm.
And he hands you a whole stack of pretty heavy horseshoes.
Well, it sounds like we need to do some magic here to turn these into usable weapons.
I mean, I was mostly thinking like protection charms, but if you can think of a way to weaponize these, be my guest.
Oh no, I mean
Just,
like literally using magic instead of a forge to make some like bolts out of them, maybe a sharp edge to make a makeshift knife. something like
Just make
that.
some shivs. Make some iron prison shivs.
So you didn't happen to catch a glimpse of maybe the private parts of the kelpie? I am wondering because I do worry that it might reproduce. If it is a male, I might not have to worry.
Is that how it works with fairies? Do they do that?
Well, many more animalistic, exotic creatures like this do reproduce in ways very similar to, well, normal animals.
Hey Shadow, did you catch a glimpse of the bad horse's junk?
No, because I was kind of busy being stuck to it and blowing fire onto it.
In this case, you didn't get a look at the inside of the lake either. Well, yes, you look all dry. You probably weren't pulled in.
Yeah, we weren't going to take a swim right after tangling with a kelpie.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
But now that we've got some iron for some weapons, yeah.
By the way, the entire time we've been doing this, I've been sitting down and I've been taking out various pieces of armor and drawing runes onto them and like bending them with just pure strength and putting them into this. Yeah, I've been making something. You can see me doing something, and it looks
Oh
weird.
my god, the fucking. I forgot that. I didn't even remember that you actually had armor on you that you could use for this.
You
But it
forgot.
was in the
I did not.
bag.
Yeah. It was in the
Yes,
bag. He couldn't
It
use
yes.
it
was in the
until
bag.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but you do realize it is metal armor.
Marcel definitely looks over to you, and his eyes go white with Oh, wait a second. I think my headset is shorting out. 1 second.
Destroyed. So
Okay, I'm back.
I get spooked easily by loud noises. Sorry.
Oh no, sad. Um. So when Marcel sees Shadow bending metal, he gets all wide-eyed and visibly very happy, and walks over very quickly and goes, "Oh, do you work out too?
What? Sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
Do, do you work out too? It is one of my hobbies because there is not much you can do in such an isolated area. So I always love to find new workout buddies.
Kind of.
It is very impressive what you've already achieved." And he starts babbling, very happy about his routine and his favorite things to use, like what are they called? Devices for working out, and his diet, and is just super happy to have found someone else who's into the same hobby as him, even though that is not even completely confirmed.
Uh, I'm just smiling and nodding while I'm still working on the armor and bending it into shape and scribing runes onto it. And I quickly turn to him. Do you have any spare leather I could possibly use?
Um, Let me think. I should have some You should have some old leather clothing, and maybe I could give you an old saddle or something.
I'll
Would
take an old saddle. The leather is harder and better for it.
all right. He runs to the storage shed again and comes back very fast with a saddle for you.
Thank you. And I just start dismantling it and like doing this and that. And if you look in Discord for Marada's armor, just think that with the chest
Right.
plate a bit
So
different.
let's sharpen up these
Yes.
horseshoes, I guess.
Yeah. I hear Brook can do magic sometimes.
I'd like to roll an assistance on his, maybe kind of giving uh, some ideas on, breaking off this piece, making this piece sharp, whatever, if that's okay.
Can Patty use magic?
What? No. No. No, she cannot. I
Yeah, that
picked
was.
the thing that lets her get cool stuff from the agency, but not right now.
Oh, I was asking in terms of helping Shadow out with his role before he made it.
Oh yeah. Sure. That is definitely something you can do. What? Oh yeah. Good Shadow is kind of making a use magic roll again with enchanting armor.
Yeah. So my armor is like a mix of Goblin Slayer and Marada's from Naruto.
So yeah, I gave
All
you a
right.
+1.
Sure. So I roll weird
Yeah.
because of the runes. Yeah.
Oh,
Please be
Josh was so cool.
13.
Nice.
So
You're literally on a roll.
yep. And to keep in mind the runes I'm scribing onto it, so I can get so it goes up to what 2 armor. That's what I
Oh,
wanted to do. So I can make it strong and light and flexible, but still have the armor thing.
use magic. I'm sorry, it's getting late. So effect, enchant a weapon, inflict harm. Mm, I don't see this as a direct effect on the list. Tommy, nicht. Where would you perhaps classify this?
I mean, I would say this would probably be an example of big magic where we're taking time to be prepared.
That's
Mhm.
actually that actually makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So in other words, like we're taking the time to not only have him make armor, but for all of us to be equipped with something where, for me, I'd like to have some bolts with cold iron tips, and then maybe Drew gets a knife that's, just, like Patty said, a prison shiv of cold iron.
Um. I
Yeah.
also tell all three of these.
And
What specific element do you lean towards the most? Like ice, water, fire, earth, lightning,
I
acid,
mean, do we
poison.
need anything other than cold iron? I think the other stuff is just gonna be overkill. Let's keep it
Well,
simple.
I can add simple effects
Yeah, but that's
onto your
probably
blade.
gonna make it harder, isn't it? Also, Chen, do you know how big magic works?
I just read it, and we can go with need to spend a lot of time. Jeez, I'm sorry. Um, but that would be a time frame of days, I think.
Well, it doesn't have to be. It's up to you in terms of we're not trying to make weapons that are we're not trying to make things that are built to last, These are more like
Hmm.
temporary
Well,
things that we're just
I'm
using.
making it to be for me to build to last, but yeah, that's what the runes are for, to make it stronger.
I'd say you'd at least take until fairly late into the evening if if you're just going for temporary armor, and you need at least a day or two for something that permanently works. So
I reckon we
that's a
should stay
call
here.
Shadow and Joshua have to make together.
Yeah, I reckon we should stay here the night because then we can prepare extra and find out any more information we need, and to see if we have to hunt the Kelpie too.
What do you mean if we do have to hunt the
Yeah,
Kelpie too?
it's the Kelpie that's the biggest danger right now. So
Yeah, I
I reckon
honestly,
preparing ourselves for the Kelpie would be better.
no, it works for me.
look, I'd say we shouldn't spend too much time on this. Look, if the armor you make falls apart while we do this, you can just like pick up the armor pieces and make something longer lasting later.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to stay here the night anyway. The Kelpie's gone for now. We need to wait for it to come back because it's recuperating.
So we're getting kind of into the whole realm of what meta is going on here. So I think in terms of we just need to have something that we can use as because of its weakness, because that's what you have to use to actually put a monster down. All
Yeah.
this stuff about the armor and whatnot, I think is kind of something that Chen will have to adjudicate, but I don't think it's as topical on what we're trying to do right now.
And I can work on it while in between breaks as well.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's focus on the weapons. What do we need to do to make some crappy makeshift weaponry?
Oh,
Make
he already made the roll.
sharp, pointy. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, right. Okay. Well then.
So I'm just flavoring it
I mean,
as a
yeah.
few crossbow bolts that have cold iron tips now.
Mm,
They also wouldn't last long because they're iron brittle
Right.
for projectiles.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
just for
Yeah,
this adventure, I don't expect to have them later.
good. Then, yeah, let's do that. And then it's
Okay.
evening, yeah?
So you're basically going for the temporary, right?
Yeah.
All
If we're
right.
staying here over the night, then I'll continue working on the armor. But if we're not, if we're going out and it's the evening, then I'll work on it when we have a break.
Then you're definitely working till dusk for now.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And by the end of the day, you have very nice iron, like iron enriched armor to protect you from all your Kelpie needs or attacks.
I just grabbed the armor out of the backpack. I don't even know if it's iron or steel.
Well, a lot of it is actually at least infused with iron or steel because I think those are fairly common armor materials in general,
Okay.
especially in the medieval ages.
Yep. No, that's
Wow.
fine. So
Okay. How do we track down a Kelpie? Do we
Good.
just walk around close to the river and go, a horse? A kingdom for a horse.
what we
Maybe.
could do is go fishing.
It,
I mean, normally what they do is they just pose as horses.
Well,
And
they
then
can
when
also
I mean,
someone
pose
tries
as
to
a
ride them,
we
they
are our own bait. I mean, they want to drown humans, so I say that we walk along the lake edge and just be ready for an attack, and maybe make it look like one of us is separate from the others, but the rest of us are really close by.
No, okay, yeah, I suppose. Okay, who makes the best? It's me. It's me, isn't it? Of course, it's me.
Drew is also very mundane.
Hey, Drew, what's your tough?
Let's take a peek. +1.
Cool. That means I'm the best bait.
Why would you consider yourself the best bait? I mean, I'm not arguing. I'm just curious as to the reason
Um,
why.
because I have a tough of -1, which means I am the worst at protecting people.
Okay. Oh, so in other words, also too, you probably are smaller than the rest of us and more vulnerable looking, at least from a predator stance.
Well, I'm very tall but lanky. I don't know. I don't know what you guys look like.
Okay.
But also, I don't know. To a Kelpie, we probably all look very similar, except for Shadow, perhaps, because Shadow is a big beef.
Yeah.
Much beef.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, maybe we'll have you walking pretty close to the lake, but we should make sure that Drew, you always have rope with you, right? I think that was a detail that you mentioned.
Yeah, I do. I've always got. So we could just like tie Patty up, like so that
No, not tie Patty
she
up,
can't
but
be
just
touched.
like have it
Not
around
Not
her
tie me
waist
in
so that we
first.
can, so
someone. Yeah,
yeah, so we can make
not
sure that
like
she doesn't
tie
get pulled
her up,
in.
but like, yeah. I meant like, yeah,
Yeah, totally not in a weird way. Yeah.
no, just
Okay.
like tie around her waist and then tie it to something on the shore and then, or like someone can hold it so
Yeah,
that
Shadow.
you know nothing really bad
Okay.
happens.
Shadow makes a good anchor point.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yay, kelpie fishing!
Good.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
describe what you do, you guys.
I guess I hand off the hunting rifle to someone else
Maybe
because
Drew.
hunting rifle in close
Yeah, I'll take it.
proximity is shit. Yeah, you take that, and I'll just. Oh yeah, you also get my backpack because I really don't want that to get wet. And I'll just have my pistol, which is probably not gonna do much, but for comfort. And
Well,
then
if you
I
want two
mill
pistols, you
about
can hold
by
my
the
other one.
water.
Sorry, what?
Just for kicks, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna go guns akimbo on this thing. No, that's stupid. No, it's fine. Keep that. You might need it for something. It's okay. And then I mill about the water and look helpless.
Very nice. What do the others do?
I mean, we're just ready to act as soon as the thing tries to drag her in.
And I'd like
Shadow's
to
got the
read a
rope and
dangerous
yeah.
situation, maybe.
Okay. Then you should do that.
Read a bad. Here we go.
Nice.
Wow.
Right.
It's another bunch of questions. So,
Yeah.
what's the best way to protect the victims, which is me?
I am it. I am the victim. I think you're covering your bases pretty well, like short of actually getting some some good big iron weapon into your hand. This is probably the best you can do.
Okay, I guess I also have one of the shivs. That should be doable, right?
Yeah, that's totally doable.
Hooray! All right, I'll keep the other questions for later.
Okay. So, Drew and Shadow, where are you?
I'll just be like chilling. Well, not chilling, but like waiting along the bank for something to go wrong.
Maybe further away from the water. It would be really, really terrible if it took you instead.
Yeah, that's true. I'll just be like ready with the rifle kind of like trained on where Patty is, but like not in a way that I'm just gonna shoot Patty.
I would
Hopefully.
appreciate if you did not.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
And Shadow?
I am going to quickly enchant the rope to not snap or break.
I didn't understand that. I'm sorry.
Wants to enchant the rope.
So it won't break. Because I have a feeling that's gonna snap.
Is that an
Okay.
effect that one can do?
Well, it's magic.
Yeah, but like it's big magic unless it's something you can do with use magic. You're kind of
Well, it's only
limited.
temporary.
Yeah, but you're
Let's
still
see.
kind of limited to the list with use magic, so you can't just
I
do
mean,
anything.
I mean, technically,
there is trap a specific person, minion, or monster.
Yeah.
So that
there's
But
could be
also,
do one
maybe-
thing that is beyond human limitation. Make a rope that won't snap.
I
That-
think that is normally
that is
more.
not what that's for, I don't think.
More-
I
I
know.
think it's more for like physical stuff, right? Like
Wait,
running
can
fast or
Wait,
something.
Yeah,
can I,
or
can I
senses.
technically transform it into cold iron?
Um, it doesn't
from the
have
food,
any
it won't be
any
flexible.
effect that would be easy to finagle into that there, but trap a specific person could totally count for making the rope more sturdy, because you would kind of trap Patricia in the rope.
Okay. 10.
Well then
Wow,
that's the thing.
And it works without
it's
issues.
just incredible. Yeah.
That +3 in weird is so useful.
It just works. And Patty, you suddenly get the feeling that the rope around you is just much sturdier than it felt just a moment before.
Oh, it's
Um,
good to know that it's me who's gonna snap instead of the rope.
By the way,
Right?
I don't have the arm on at the moment. I still have it away because I'm making it permanent.
Patty, I'd like for you to roll one sharp for basically like being perceptive.
Can do.
The read a bad situation didn't count.
Well, I thought that was more for these specific questions instead
Okay.
of noticing. I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, because like you guys have more experience than me, and I'm very willing to learn.
Well,
Yeah, it depends more on the angle that Patty was going for with the read a bad situation.
What angle were you
well,
going
the thing is, like, I could like ask the question, "What's the biggest threat?" and that would probably mean that Patty notices the thing when it comes.
hmm
I guess. So I guess I'll just go for that.
Okay, then you notice that the water is moving just in time to see some dark, scaly ears and some seaweed poking out, and catch the kelpie snapping for your ankle.
Well, I pull my ankle away and like basically I do this I do this thing where I fall over backwards and then like try to crawl away in a way that makes it clear for the kelpie that it can still totally get me, and also since I'm now prone I won't get fucking shot.
Nice.
Good job.
Can I like
Very good job.
can I like roll an assist to someone else's tough roll for this?
Ooh.
Like, I try to lure it out of the water and try not to be an obstruction to whatever shots happen as my help out action.
I'd definitely say yes. Who
Mhm.
does want to take the shot?
Well, I'll take it. I've got the rifle.
Mm,
Well,
I
but
don't have.
your rifle doesn't like actually exploit the weakness. So maybe Joshua should go should go take
Yeah,
the
we
first
can do
shot.
that.
Okay,
Um,
nice. All right, so
all right, and technically, since I am acting on the answers to the questions I asked with read a bad situation, I get a +1 on that.
oh, nice. So this is a 10, and therefore 1 tier higher.
Yeah.
That's great for you. It's sad for me, but it's great for you.
Sad for you. You what? Do you want me to
Yeah.
die?
No, but
No.
I drew a nice picture for Under. Um,
Oh.
yeah, sad, Jen. But it's fine.
Look.
Um,
We will look at it later and we will be very impressed.
yeah.
all right, so I
Oh,
rolled a 7.
oh,
So 2 harm, but with its weakness. But somebody gets hurt.
oh, yeah.
I
Well,
wonder who's gonna get fucking hurt.
gee, it's a mystery. Well, yeah, Patty, the Kelpie absolutely totally goes for your bait and pulls itself out of the water to jump down on your ankle. And like the very next moment it's hit by the projectile, it immediately lets go of you. You still have a big ouch. Like,
Shit.
um, it's the same harm. Is it the same harm, Joshua? Okay.
Well, no, because it's the creature's harm. But I think last time you established it as 2.
Yeah. So you take 2 harm.
Okay,
In
I
the leg.
assume my flak vest doesn't apply because yeah.
Your ankle.
But
So.
my battlefield awareness should apply, which gives me +1 armor, so that's 1 harm.
Okay, so that's 1 harm. Yeah. The creature howls in pain and falls into the water, and you can see that.
Oh, well, wait, before it does that though, I mean, we're all kind of ready. Do we at least get a chance? Does everyone get a chance to act before it does that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. Thank you.
All right.
So, Drew
Well,
and
I guess
Shadow.
that's me then. Oh, I don't have. There we go.
It would just be a tough roll
Hold on a
to
sec.
use the weapon.
Yeah. Shoot.
Oh yeah, by the way, Chen,
Yes.
I would actually be absolutely fine with the Kelpie just like hanging on to Patty and just pulling her into the water anyway. She won't go far because rope, but
Okay.
Drew, don't you have a +1 on that? Because I thought it was enhanced.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yeah.
I roll tough as well? Because I'm holding on to the rope at the moment.
I
Let's
guess
keep.
I do, huh? That's well, then that's a 7 then, huh?
Yeah, that's a 7.
Awesome. So,
Somebody gets roughed up, I guess.
it's you. I'm sorry, but
It's fine. It's fine. I am the bait. I get it.
it lunges for foot again in a more or less panicked motion. Was Drew? Was this with a weakness or was it normal?
That was
Oh,
the
this is normal, it's just a rifle.
magical rifle.
Yeah, it's got the magic rifle, but it's not like iron ammo or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got the
All right.
magic tag.
All right. And Shadow?
I see you guys like the weapon I enchanted for you. You guys caught it useless.
I mean, Shadow, maybe since you're pretty close by, maybe you can try to rope this thing to prevent it from getting back in the water.
I was gonna see if I could banish it from the water
That's smart.
Well, the only problem though
because
is that if you use banish, you're not exactly in control of where it goes.
No. Instead, like trap it outside the water. I think is
Okay, well
like the thing,
be
right?
that wouldn't be banished though. That would be something
Yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah, that would be
well, yeah,
trap.
I wanted to see if I could banish it from the water, but the only problem
Oh,
is
yeah,
I
no.
don't know if it's gonna go like just out onto the land or it's
Yeah, I
gonna.
don't think
Um,
banish
Yeah.
is the best choice, but I think Patty's idea
no,
of trapping it somehow.
well, yeah, if you use banish, yes, but there's also bar a place or portal to a
Oh
specific
yeah,
person or type of
Yeah.
creature. So
Yeah,
you could basically bar the river for the kelpie.
perfect.
yeah. I'm gonna roll magic and see if I can flick something into the water that just makes the kelpie come out. I'm
Mm.
gonna bar it.
Guess we're not going in the water
11.
after all.
Woo! Yay!
Woo! God damn
I'm
it!
just I'm just gonna say that
At this
Patty
point, it's like all my magic rolls are gonna work.
I'm just gonna say that Patty is dunked under for just a moment so I can just show up this thing I worked on for a long time.
Oh God!
Okay, that looks cool.
Oh
That's very pretty.
no!
I even
Shit!
made two versions in case this one was a bit too dark and stuff. So you
Aw,
could get a better
That looks cool though.
I
It's
love
like,
it.
yeah,
I love it.
Paddy's getting dragged under by this thing.
and its stuff on the bottom right is definitely like
It's his
guts.
time. Yeah.
Some stuff of some kind of guts.
Entrails.
A lot of nice round kind of translucent thingies.
Mmm.
Mm.
Okay.
I'm so
And
Thank you for sacrificing yourself for my happiness, Bert. I highly appreciate
always,
it.
always. I guess I take another harm though, right?
Um,
Because like Drew also rolled a 7 on the thing.
didn't
I
we
mean, it's not
already?
necessary. I mean,
It's not
it's
necessary, but
exactly if it makes sense to, um, according to the situation. So maybe.
Yeah. I'd say that like we have the quick dunk instead of harm
all right.
in this case,
Yay!
and right after this though, it lets go of you, goes pretty motionless and like sinks into the water. Um, oh wait, no, doesn't sink into the water, but oh jeez.
Gets
Maybe
fucking
the
Um,
magic
ejected.
turned it. I think, if I recall correctly, well, maybe it just makes it so that the water feels like it's burning it, so it like has to get out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Um, so it lets go of you again, because it is making another exclamation of pain and leaps out of the water where it almost immediately collapses into just a pile of possibly dead and very profusely bleeding kelpie.
Yeah, no, this is something that's certainly dangerous, and I think that this thing should absolutely be burned.
I yank Patricia out of the water because the
Yeah,
rope's still tied to her, and I just like one arm yanked you out, and then I take out
I
my sword and go over and finish off the kelpie.
I come up coughing and like just spitting water everywhere. Just oh God, shit, fuck, ah! Oh, so gross. Oh, so fucking gross.
You tell us about the eggs, right?
Oh, there's it laid a whole bunch of eggs and some entrails down there. Oh, it's so gross. Oh, it's so fucking gross.
Well, I guess it's time to collect
Well,
some kelpie caviar.
yeah.
Nom, 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 nom. I hear it's a delicacy.
I look around at you and oh, oh yeah, let me guess. I'm already wet, so I get to go do it, huh?
I think in this case, I mean, as long as we've gotten rid of the kelpie and we don't think there are any more, we should all go down there. All of
Yeah,
us,
let's
just to
just all
start
do it.
popping those eggs.
I mean, I can make the water start boiling.
Oh, even better. Sterilize the
Wait,
area.
does the water actually start boiling?
I mean, yes, because all it's doing is heating up the water.
I mean, it is a river.
Boiled eggs.
The water is moving fairly fast, so
True.
the moment you heat the water up in one place, it's probably gonna move to the next.
I mean, I could summon something.
Well, let's
Do not summon monsters unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah, let's just keep it simple. I mean, if we can get underwater and just get rid of the eggs, let's just do that.
Yeah, let's just hop down there. And
Yeah. To
Do
finish
some
off the
good
kelpie,
old manual labor.
finish off
How
the
much-
kelpie, then we go down there and finish this egg problem, and then we go back to the actual fucking job.
Oh, Shadow already like double tapped it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
Also, I
then-
don't have a hard stop, but we are at 2, and I do need to get going pretty soon.
yeah, I do as well. I gotta run some
It is
home
11
stuff
o'clock.
when we get a free second.
well,
Mhm.
I can speed up at least this part so far that like you have a very uneventful time popping eggs.
Nice.
And eventually all eggs are hopefully popped. And that is that taken
Okay,
care
cool.
of.
So one monster down, one to go, and we have tranquilizers and junk. Let's go get ourselves a unicorn.
Yay!
Can we make that happen like half an hour?
Yeah.
Real time. All right.
How are you approaching this? Are you gonna
I mean, just continue tracking like we did up to
Yeah.
this point.
okay?
We'll see if we can find like smashed up trees and junk.
Yeah. I'd say thanks to Drew, you fairly quickly notice a clear trail. You do notice that like there was a lot of backtracking, like some there are kind of paths that like are more strongly smashed than others. And as you follow the trail, you eventually arrive to this view.
Oh,
You find a very
geez.
nice clearing, and most of the unicorns have actually like collected, gathered among the trees, and in front of them paces the German unicorn.
I mean, that thing's
As it
probably. Oh, go ahead.
As it sees you, it immediately starts to do some threatening stuff, some kicking at the ground with its first hoofs and making noises, and
It probably thinks that. I mean, it's probably trying to protect the females from, any dangers, including the kelpie. But we do have Patty as a virgin. Maybe you can charm it.
question is, do you know that? Hmm.
Oh, I'll just ask. Is anyone a virgin?
I feel like
That's
Drew
a
is definitely
very
like, let's be
personal
honest here, folks. I work in
question.
the forest.
I mean, it's a very personal question, but a very apropos question at the moment. So we need a virgin to maybe calm this thing down.
I think characteristically Drew would probably fit the glove, so to speak. Yeah.
Nice.
He
That's
definitely
two
just
of
works.
us.
He works in the forest service, kind of hangs out sometimes alone in the forest. Maybe that's
Aw.
going too far, but like, you know,
The the only
he's
chicks
okay with
Drew gets are like little ducklings. Ha! Get it?
it.
Uh,
Anyway, so I'm just gonna, and plus he also knows how to work with animals, so I
And
don't
he
know.
does have the whole
Yeah.
Maybe
Disney like look to him, so yeah.
there we
Also,
Aw.
go. Bing bang boom.
uh, maybe give the tranquilizer rifle to I don't know,
Yeah, I'll pass it
Joshua
off to someone
probably.
who can use it while I try to calm it down.
Nice. How do
So
you approach it?
I'm just gonna approach it kind of like hands out. I'm gonna set down all of my weapons and take off my backpack because I have a feeling that it's pretty intelligent, and so I'm just gonna like make it clear like I'm not here to hurt you, and just like approach it with my arms out, kind of slowly, um, like walking towards it. Just like it's okay, calm, like like saying hi, it's
It
okay, it's
kind
okay.
it
Like
kind of
very slowly walking towards it.
freezes up a little, and you can see that it kind of squints a bit at you. But it does not advance towards you, which is probably a good sign. It does not back away, and its tail is definitely swishing um, in a very tense fashion back and forth. But as you continue to speak calmly and come closer, it raises its head a little bit, making sure that the point of its horn is not aligned with you, and seems a little bit more approachable.
Yeah, so you don't have to get too close to it, just as long as you can make sure that it stays still, and then maybe Shadow can
Yeah,
shoot it with the tranquilizer.
I
I
will like kind of like kneel down, and then Shadow can just shoot from behind me.
well, I'm
So
already
like
like way above you. Unless your dude's
that's
really
true.
tall.
Yeah,
Well, just do it.
Yeah,
Just destroy this unicorn.
kick
What I
some butt, I guess.
what
It
I
definitely start like when Drew kneels down. It definitely starts carefully advancing towards him, sniffing in his direction.
Shoot it!
do I roll?
Yeah,
Yes, you roll tough.
kick some ass.
And fail. Oh no.
Oh
there we
gee,
go.
I'm surprised you didn't fail with one of those especially high values. But yeah, I am getting food from the good. Oh, danke schön, Josh. Okay. Ja. Ich erzähle dir später, okay. Sorry. I have been briefly distracted. Blog. So, yeah, you, hit it. They, where do you hit it? I'd say, you actually managed to hit, a part of its shoulder that isn't too guarded by the thick mane. And, it first, makes kind of a leap back and then starts to kind of kick and jump around a little bit like a goat trying to fight off a mosquito or something. It definitely notices that, oh no, there's some pain happening, but it's not quite sure where this is coming from and where it's going, and its motions slow down very soon though, and eventually it kind of wobbles over to Drew and kneels down by his side to lay its head in
Oh,
his lap.
nice shot.
Oh
Oh.
heck yeah! Really going for the Disney angle here. I
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
it.
totally. Some bluebirds flutter close to land on your shoulder, and a few butterflies dance around you. And the other unicorns are actually also getting very curious and carefully coming closer to you. Because who is this? Is a person.
Okay. Where do we go from here?
Well,
I should probably contact the agency. Maybe.
we'll contact the caretaker. We've got the thing. Let's tie it up, make sure it's safe, and get it back to Germany.
Yeah, I guess. I guess that's the way to go. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's tie this thing up, real careful, like. But also, I think Patty is just gonna have a go and walk over to the unicorns.
Several of them immediately come towards you, very friendly. Like, one shoves its snout into your hair and snuffles curiously. And they just seem very much like, oh, hello, new friend.
Little
Aw.
virgin.
But Patty actually like starts giggling a bit and looks probably much happier than you've ever seen her before.
Yeah, and like 10 years younger too. Like,
Yeah.
there's just something super rejuvenating about being around the sweet creatures.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say you can very easily bind the unicorn. Shadow
finally-
tries to do it with a rune, but instead just horribly
wow.
freaks
I
up
had
this
a-
time.
I had a natural 1 and a 2.
Amazing. See, the dice were like, listen, the dice give and the dice take away.
To be honest, it's been giving me quite a
I
lot.
guess-
I should have asked it to do so much more.
I guess you just impaled and die immediately.
As
The
the,
good- the
German
good thing
unicorn
is-
falls asleep, it stabs you with its horn, and you die.
Exactly, like it's already like calming down that it runs over Shadow, stabs him a few times in the chest, and then wobbles back to Drew. No, none of that. Use magic doesn't specify, so I think it just doesn't work, and that's all there is to it. Just your spell immediately fizzles, and Drew's like, I have rope. You know.
Yeah, it will just like, tie it in a manner that makes sure that like it won't start doing stuff, but it also doesn't feel like we're not like tying its legs together to, like we're not trying to kill it.
Yeah.
We're just like
I mean-
making sure it doesn't start running around and goring people.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna try and bind it so it would be asleep the entire trip, but okay, let's go for some rope.
Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Marcel will know what's happening. Will know what to do with it. So yeah.
As you return to the farm, Marcel is visibly overjoyed. Sees you bring the creature along, especially as he sees that it is bound but isn't completely super tied up, implying that it is alive, but that you're also not like altering it or anything. And he
I mean,
happily
if you want, I can break the horn.
No.
And he happily comes towards you guys as you arrive. You found it! What about the kelpie?
Kelby's taken care of. The eggs are gone.
Yeah. It
It
apparently
had eggs.
it laid some eggs in the dead unicorn's entrails. It was very nasty, and I will need to shower for an entire week.
I am so sorry. But I am also so thankful you have potentially saved the whole preserve from being wiped out. Because imagine a whole earth of kelpies.
Oh,
They
I
would
would
have.
rather not.
All right, I am so sorry. And he quickly approaches the unicorn and very lovingly strokes its mane and goes, "Ah, new friend. Oh, let's see about getting you home as soon as yeah." He turns to you guys and is like, "I can absolutely take the care and transport of the unicorn from here because I know how it's the most safe. And I am also sure that now that I have it in my care once, I can at least restrain it until the transport arrives."
All right,
So,
that's good. That's very good.
yes. He like looks like a little boy who just got the best Christmas gift in the whole wide world, and like with this look of, "Oh my gosh, I just got a puppy. I will love him forever and pet him and do all everything best for him and go on walks with him every day." Like he's genuinely excited and happy to see this unicorn.
Ah, delightful.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, we should mention, there were a shit ton of unicorns with him. Like that was like probably all of them. I didn't count them, but
Or
you know,
did any of them look hurt?
no, no, it was fine. Like it's
Oh, then
seemed
good.
like they got along.
Well, they might have gotten
Then
along too well, so just, be prepared.
Yeah, that's
yes,
kind of the thing. Yeah.
I will definitely check if any of them are pregnant as a result. But if more or less all of them were around, then that also means that the males were there too, and it didn't attack them. So that is a good sign, and that is also a good sign against eat rivalry or
Yeah,
anything.
you
So
should probably investigate that more closely, but
I
it seemed
absolutely will.
fine.
I absolutely will. I am so grateful for your work. It was abs- that you discovered and safety preserved from another threat entirely. I know that goes above and beyond. And if I can uh, offer you anything, I do not have much, but if you would like some tea or some ingredients from the unicorns, I would be glad to help you out.
I'll take some ingredients so I can use them in my rooms to make my things more powerful.
I'll take some for Solomon.
That is so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird question, but can I have like a bit of the German unicorn's hair? Like, I think that'd be cool just to have.
Yes, of course, the hair should be completely fine. He like gives you a short gesture, like wait a moment, rushes into the house, comes back with scissors and a little what's probably actually like a trash bag, a very small one, and just gently snips off some hair off the mane and puts it in there and carefully hands it to you.
Heck yeah.
Can
So
I
you
have a
go.
unicorn? I do not
Um,
have a place to hold a unicorn. Never mind.
the little unicorn foal promptly bumps into your leg though, and just like stays there with its head against your leg.
Ah,
Well, you may not have all unicorn, but it seems like you won a lot of unicorn arts today. Well, if that is everything, I will prepare some packages for you two. He gestures to Joshua and Shadow, and prepare the transport of the unicorn.
Thank you.
And as soon as I am done, you can safely fly back home. For that time, take a seat in my living room, make yourself at home, feel comfortable. And that is basically what your evening goes like. He is an excellent host who makes sure you always have some drink and some snacks. And soon gives Joshua and Shadow their package to send you back home. I don't know if you're gonna make the hike at night or wait till the next morning. He would absolutely offer you a place to stay if you wait for the next morning.
I'm
But I
gonna just
also
be
think,
working on my armor if we're staying for the night.
Yeah, honestly, hiking in the American wilderness by night sounds like a bad idea.
Well, okay. I do that a lot. That's pretty fun. That's
do
kind of
like
Drew's
that.
thing.
Well, you're a
Do like
do
that
it.
professional.
is basically my life. But okay.
Yeah, well, you are a crazy person who is crazy. No? Okay, maybe not.
No, it's we don't do that to friends here, Trisha. In this house. Yeah, so this is where would officially end the adventure. Like the ones who stay the night, the others can leave. And you're all safely transported back to the helicopter. And
Nice.
paid quite handsomely. I think the fact that you, Patricia, put them into good standing with someone who can supply unicorn stuff also gets you back into the at least neutral graces of the agency. So, I think you're let out of the doghouse for now.
I think I might have to roll the deal with the agency move to see about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I have to dum. Oh wait, no, actually I only have to if I have to make excuses for a failure or if I request help or gear. No, yeah, I guess that might put me back in good graces. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Good
It's fine.
job.
Hooray.
See, everything
And
turned out all right in the end.
yeah.
I got
And
my
for the rest of us, I forgot to copy the little sheet Tommy always puts up about how many XP everyone gets. So that isn't great. Tommy.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull up a quick copy here.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, my computer.
Sorry, your computer what?
Can anyone hear me?
Yep.
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Shit. I missed something. You forgot what?
I forgot the cool XP sheet Tommy always puts up. Because Tommy has a cool XP sheet.
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't
bring up
have
the
to.
questions. I just need to jump into one of my games real quick.
Yeah.
It's on the keeper reference, or the keeper reference section, but I forgot the title for it, so I'm not going to spend time trying to search it there, so I'll just jump into my game.
Okay.
Let's see. I mean, I do know one of them is, did we learn something important about the world? Did we learn something important about one of our characters? Which, yeah, we learned that, Patricia and Drew are virgins. Which,
Heck yeah.
no, but I mean, that could be
Very
something.
important.
No, it could
That
be
could be
important
useful in the
because,
future, yeah.
yeah, in the future, like, what if you encounter some vampires where that's like an important thing, So,
Oh
who knows?
man.
These sorts of things do pop up.
There's
Also,
also the fact we learned that there's different species of unicorn.
Yeah.
And about each other, you also learned that Drew is an actual, literal Disney princess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Just straight up.
And we also learned I was rolling really well with magic.
Now, that's no surprise, though. I mean, you've got +3. If you weren't rolling well, would be more of a surprise.
I mean, he did manage to botch at least one roll. Oh, by the way, don't forget your XP for that, Shadow.
Yeah, I've already put it down. I've got what, three, two or three
Nice.
Okay, here we go.
XP
Did
at
we
the moment.
conclude the current mystery? So, yes. Do we save someone
Yes.
from certain death or worse? Yes.
Yep.
And the other two we already mentioned, so we get 2 experience each on top of any misses.
Oh, hey,
Nice.
I just leveled up. Okay,
Yeah,
so
same.
Good shit. I helped you guys level up. I'm glad.
Yay.
Okay.
Mm.
And on that note, I've got to get going, so I'm going to stop the recording here. But thank you so much for GMing. And it's always nice to be on this side of the metaphorical GM screen. And
Thank you so
I'll
much.
I'll get some stuff ready for. I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually do next week. So if someone else can jump in, that would be great. But otherwise, I will be working on Eyes in the Dark. But I'll catch you guys later.
heck yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
Later,
Awesome.
bye.